Hi everybody, Dan Bisagni here again, and today we're going to do lesson 3, storage and backups, in our 4-part series on your home information system and fundamentals of a home information system. I wanted to say thank you and express how excited I am about the response to my last video about networking. I am very encouraged at the excitement that you all have shown just in my conversations with people, in the communications you've sent out, the suggestions you guys have made. I'm hoping that in this video you will see some of those suggestions, and I especially wanted to thank Randy and Mike, Spencer and Sam, Spencer indirectly, but Sam and Spencer for your suggestions. Hopefully you'll see the improvements in this video, but also you may see some new content later on based on those suggestions, and I really appreciate those. Please continue to send me comments or emails, or just grab a hold of me if you see me and ask me some questions, or share what might make this a better learning experience and better lessons. Again, my name is Daniel Bisagni. I have been in the information technology field for 10 years now. Currently, I am a systems administrator at a major healthcare organization here in America. I have a deep desire to help people go from a place of fear about their information systems to a place of understanding and confidence in their home information system. And this lesson, I hope, is a help to you to get from that fear to that place of understanding and also that place of confidence. So no system is 100% secure. Given enough time and resources, any system can be hacked. However, if you take certain precautions, you will be a hard target as opposed to those around you. We all have fears about information systems. Fears about being scammed, fears about being hacked, fears about people watching our traffic, fears about losing data. But imagine if you logged onto the internet in your own home with the confidence that you had taken every precaution to the best of your abilities to secure your home information system. That is why I am sharing these videos. By explaining technology in plain language and creating small tasks with step-by-step instructions, you can secure the core parts of your home information system. Today, we're going to go over Lesson 3, Storage and Backups. And we're going to talk about some core principles that you can use to figure out what information is important and needs to be backed up and what information is not important. So, the first thing you're going to want to do is list all your devices and ask your family. Now, what does that mean? Well, list any device that you might have information on that you might need if that device was to fail. Anything that you use to store information needs to be looked at to see if it needs to be backed up. By making a list, you will be able to itemize which items you've already looked at and which items you need to look at. Now, some things will have an automatic backup system built into it. The next thing you're going to need to do is determine what data is important. What does that mean? Well, generally that will look like photos, documents for work, or documents for your household. When you are looking through your computer to see which documents are important, check your downloads folder pretty closely. Sometimes there will be large files in there that you do not need to back up and that you can easily download again off the internet. Clearing out your downloads folder can increase the speed of your computer by reducing the amount of unnecessary files you have stored there. Okay, once you've determined which files are important, the next thing you have to do is figure out what type of storage are you going to use. Now here I've written down 3 types of storage. Now there's way more types or subtypes of storage out there, but this is just to keep things as simple as possible. The first type of storage we're going to talk about is cloud storage. Now everyone talks about doing things in the cloud. The cloud is just a fancy way of saying the internet. Okay, so this is internet storage. That means whatever you place into your cloud storage is basically on the internet. So when you put things into cloud storage, you need to know that there is a good possibility that that information could end up on the internet without your permission. If I'm not willing to post this publicly on Facebook, then maybe I should not put it into my cloud storage. Now, again, your cloud storage account is going to be password protected, so it will not be quite as easy for people to steal that information, but if there is a data breach, some things you just don't want out there. There's also two different types of cloud storage. One is normal, which is basically you pay a premium to have access to all your files, and it synchronizes with your computer and maybe your cell phone so that your documents and your photos will show up in the same place in those devices. The second is a type of cloud storage that I will call recovery. And what does that mean? It means that it is only backed up for the purpose of recovering it if you have a device that fails. So, for instance, Amazon has a cloud storage solution that allows you to back up your data to it for minimal cost, but if you have to restore it, you have to pay for the amount of information that you are retrieving from that storage location. So it would take a long time to get the information back that you needed, but it is readily available and it's very low cost. Whereas something like Dropbox costs more, but you can get that information immediately. The second type of storage I'm going to call local storage. That means that you are storing data inside your home. So a hard drive like this, an external hard drive that stays in your home, I consider that to be local storage. A jump drive that stays in your home, that is a local type of storage. And another one that is most immediate is your laptop. It has a hard drive and you are going to store data there. Now, this is a different type of storage. It's called offsite storage. So major data centers tend to have some sort of offsite storage. Now what does that mean? That means if the building gets destroyed, that data is somewhere off-site. So this, for a homeowner, could be your bank with a safety deposit box that you take one of these hard drives and you place it in there. And now any of your photos that you just do not want to lose, if you ever have a catastrophe at your home, like major flooding, a fire, or just the computers in your home get stolen, you can go to your bank, go to your safe deposit box, and get the photos and the data that you need. And so offsite storage is a very handy thing to have, especially if you have critical data or really sensitive financial data. All right, let's go back to the analogy about your home. Your storage solution is just like a garage in your home. There's two different ways to utilize your garage. If you use it the way I do, you just take whatever comes into your hands and you just dump it there and it becomes a mess. If you do what smart people do, if you do what some people do, which hopefully one day I will become one of those some people, you take the things that you have to store and you organize them, and then you place them in your garage so that the garage is usable and also the things you have stored in there are easily accessible. Your storage system for your files and your data is the same. If you take the time to think through how you're going to set up your data system and your file system, you will have a lot more usability out of your storage. For instance, my wife loves to take photos. She took our file system for photos and broke it out by year and month. So each year folder has 12-month folders under it. what we can do is just have a master copy of all of our photos that we just update with anything new in our backup hard drive, which is external hard drive that we plug into our computer and move the files over. And then we take all of the other documents, anything that we want to keep and that are useful for us, that are templates, Excel templates, things like that, we will back those up into a dated folder. So we'll just create a folder with today's date. We'll just make this a little folder, okay? And we'll take all the data or inside your profile, and we would just copy them directly into that folder. That way we always have a copy of that information, and we know what date that copy was made. Copying data can be very time consuming, and also organizing data can be very time consuming. I would recommend taking a piece of paper and writing down the different categories that you want to organize those files into. Maybe it's by type of file, maybe it's by date, maybe it's by subject matter. You have to sit down and look at all your files and figure out what would work best for you. And for us, splitting them made it a lot easier, because then we would just have all of our files and then all of our photos and videos. With those two things, it made it very simple for us, and we can do regular backups twice a year or once a quarter or once a month, depending on what you need in terms of your backup interval. That's going to be something that's very specific to you. Now, the other thing that you can do is you can use a combination of these things to shore up your ability to recover your information. So maybe you will do a full local backup once a month. Maybe you send all your photos to the cloud. And then maybe your household items like your will or the title to your home, those sort of things you can store in an offsite location, like a safe deposit box. And maybe you only update that once a year or once a quarter. If you're a small business, maybe that offsite data should be once a month. So I hope that makes sense. It's going to look different for everyone. I think you just need to figure out what's realistic and what is most helpful. And take your time. When you're first starting out, doing one backup is better than having no backups. So do a backup today and just organize your files, organize your folders, and then do a quick backup. If you want to just start with this, that is fine. This is a 1 terabyte hard drive that I believe you can buy for less than $50 now. The hard drives are all pretty robust. They'll last you about 2 to 5 years, and depending on what type of hard drive you purchase. For less than $100, you can back up pretty much all of your data and at least have one copy. And I just want to encourage you, that is a good way to protect your information. Okay, so these are the steps that you need to do your backup and storage. Number one thing is look at the information that you have. How should it be organized? And then think about that and then write down a plan. What information are we going to store in the cloud? What information are we going to store locally? What information do we need to store off-site? Now, you don't have to do all three of these, but you do need to do at least one or two. I would say the local one is required and the cloud one is up to you. Depending on how sensitive your information is, that will determine whether or not you can put it in the cloud. The general idea is if I'm okay posting this to Facebook, then it should be okay to put in the cloud. Now, the third thing is then purchase a device. Maybe it's a jump drive, okay? Maybe it's an external hard drive, and then this is a large external hard drive. So purchase the device that you need. Don't purchase something that you don't need. These things can get very expensive very quickly. Then take a day or a day and a half, maybe 2 days. I'm not saying 24 hours, but take an evening or 2 evenings and back up your information. Make sure you know where it's going to be. Make sure you get a good, clean copy of it, and then you should be fine. Now, the reason is, and we're going to talk about this in the next video, if you have a good backup for your data, then your maintenance for your computers when something goes wrong is a lot easier. So if I have a regular backup of all my information that I really want to keep, and my computer gets a virus, well, then I can just re-image my entire computer, restore the information that I needed from the backup, and I'm fine. So storage is an important part of your information system. The next thing we're going to talk about, device maintenance. Now this is a big deal. Your computer is only as secure as your latest security updates. Your network is only as secure as your latest network firmware updates. And these things need to be updated regularly in order for you to have a safe, secure information system. So we're going to talk about all that in the next video. I am super excited about that one. I think that one is going to be one of my favorite ones because that's where I got started in all this, is just building my own computer. Now, we're not going to build our own computer, but I'm going to teach you how to maintain and to keep your machine running fast and running healthy, and how to get it back to that state if something goes wrong. So, and to know when is it time to get a different device. So hopefully that's helpful for you. Thank you so much for, if you've made it this far into the video, I really appreciate you sticking it out. I know this is a very technical lesson, and I hope I didn't say too many things that were super technical. So leave me a like, send me a comment, send me a question, ask me anything you would like about your information systems, or or thoughts on all this. Again, leave me a comment, share this on Facebook, share this on social media, share this with your friends. Hit me up on Twitter. I'm at Daniel Bisagni. I hope you have a great day. I hope this was helpful, and thank you so much for watching this video. Bye. Oh yeah, leave me a comment.